Hello, friends. Welcome back to another arena game. I promised with a recent cast that I would have another arena game for you, and this is a really good one that I saw the other day. We've got John Slow here in the blue, famous arena player playing as the Georgians. I'll talk about this mule cart in a second. The Georgians start with one. And then in the red, we have Morg, a player who is also really well known for playing closed maps. Both these guys around the top 200 mark, 2K1 rating, if that number means anything to you. Aztecs have been around a long time. The Georgians are brand new. So Aztecs, one of the classic arena civilizations. Pretty much everything's understood. I'll break that down for you here in a bit. Georgians, though, again, new. And I do have a cast with the Georgians on arena on my YouTube. I believe it's only one. But it was before the Georgian bugs were fixed. This civ is 2 months old now. And when the DLC came out, their unique unit was very badly bugged. So I lost all interest in covering the Georgians as a civilization. Well, what happened was I didn't want to cover it when there were bugs involved. Because every time I did, the bug was unavoidable. And then it was like, I kind of was annoyed at that. Because I'm human. And then I needed a couple more weeks after the bug was fixed so I could look at the civilization again without getting annoyed. That's a look into my brain. Sorry for being weird, but officially past that point, and we're gonna dive in. We're gonna talk about it here. So here's the deal. This is Arena, and I'm recording this. Like 95 minutes before I need to leave for a flight to Germany. I will be at NAC 5. Which is an amazing event. It'll be a LAN event in Berlin. Twitch.tv/Neely_AOE. I think it'll be on his YouTube channel as well. I think the 6th through the 14th of January. Anyways, I'll be there. I'm like really scatterbrained right now because I'm leaving a lot of work till the last second, clearly. So what we're going to do is we're going to just speed up here. I will still gloss over some of the bonuses and break it down. But like they're just fast castling. There's nothing of huge importance to really talk about right now. Or at least that's not true. There's plenty to talk about. There's always something to talk about, but I just think I can get it all in as they fast castle. So let's start with the Georgians. So talked about the mule cart. The mule cart is a mobile economic building. So John's still using it for wood. He could make new ones for the stone or gold, or technically he could use the same one. It does make sense for players to make more of them later on. Now, the Georgians start with one, and because a mule cart, of course, costs resources, it's rather important, they also start with less food. And this 10 seconds vital TC here is because Janso couldn't quite keep villagers working. So I'm a little surprised he hasn't done it already, but then again, you can't teach an old arena player new tricks. So I've been seeing other players just starting to do it over the last couple weeks. With the Georgians, they actually go 7 on food instead of the standard 6. I think you guys could even go up to 8, honestly. I've been doing 8 with it because you don't have to spend the villager time to build your lumber camp. You don't have to invest the resources into it. So you just don't need wood as early. It's only 10 seconds of TC idle time, but I do feel like it's worth bringing up that this is kind of funny, actually. That is hilarious. Oh my goodness, I breezed through this game, and I didn't pick up on this. He's trying to take gold with 2 villagers, and it is defaulting to wood here, which will actually screw up his build. He needs 200 gold. He's only going to have around 150. Okay, that's funny. All right, other things about the Georgians, their monasteries or their churches, they increase work rate. There we go, he just realized. So he might actually make a market here. We'll see what he does. And then sorry, what else am I thinking about? Oh yeah, their cavalry regenerates, which is actually a really big deal on a map where you're typically flooding the middle with scouts and taking lots of engagements. They have really strong stable units. And those are the big things for now. There are other things to talk about, which we'll get to. And don't worry, I'm not going to speed up this whole game. I'm just speeding up the Dark Age and the Feudal Age. In the end, John So is able to click up. No problem. Aztecs, 33% more gold per relic. Very easy to gain control over relics. Let's slow it down now. On Arena compared to other maps. because everything is towards the middle. On a normal map, if there's not wood on the sides, you might have a relic here, you might have a relic here. You're just sending units different directions. Here, you do not need to send them different directions. And so lots of reason to flood army to control those. That is pretty much the arena meta these days, especially if the walls are pretty far apart from each other. And that seems to be the case here. Also, I think this generation is... I guess it's not the worst for Morg, but... Usually on arena, your walls go to, like, the main wood line on both sides, like this. I've seen much worse. But I think you could say this is unfortunate for Morg in some ways. Especially with these stones, right? Like, if this stone were to get pushed, this stone's within range too. But, I mean, we're so spoiled these days, guys. I'm going to be casting, not classing. I'm going to be casting some classic Age games from the old editions, like Age of Conquerors, Age of Kings. I think in, like, late January, early February. And, honestly, I look at some of those maps... And it's a mix of emotions. I'm like, how did people play this? This is extremely unfair. But also, the other part of it for me is... it got messy. Players made lots of army. Things weren't as clean. And I kind of miss that too. I don't know. We've come too far. There's lots of money in the game now. The level's higher than ever. We should have fair map generations. No one wants to play this game and get screwed over by a map gen. But it is funny to me, and maybe funny to you depending on how long you've been watching... for me to point out that this map is in some way bad when it's actually not that bad at all. First blood there. I said the cav regenerates for the Georgians, but doesn't regenerate that fast. And the Eagles are out and about here for Morg. Here you're going to see this bad boy bottom left of your screen. Healing up. It's slow, but every little bit counts, right? Now, some of my casts coming to the channel this week, guys, will not have the resources collected here because this is new and the order I'm uploading things is a bit all over the place. But this will eventually be here all the time for me on my casting overlay. Might be bringing in some other things, too, in the future. Well, we will be bringing in some other things. But anyways, it's there. Aztecs have the lead. John Slow, though, commits there with the light cav. Light cav are faster. They will lose the fight versus the Eagles, though. At least without upgrades. The Eagle, 50 HP, 7 attack. They also do a little bit of bonus damage against the light cav. I don't actually know. Does Capture Age tell me? I think Capture Age tells me, but I don't know where to look. Okay, attack damage. Okay, so +2 versus cavalry. So it's 9 total damage. I don't think there's any bonus damage here. Yeah, so, oh, wait. Did it say bonus? See, now I'm just seem like an idiot here. It says melee 7, cavalry 2. Oh, I think that stacks. I think that's what it is. Yeah. All right, cool. Anyways, long story short, you know, numbers aside, you numbers people, I could tell you the Eagles win the fight versus light cav until Bloodlines comes in to add more HP, and then maybe that forging upgrade, and that's when the light cav can do a better job. So, relics the goal. Both players have a relic so far. We've been looking mainly over here, though. You can see how awkward it is for Morg to move out. Morg on 3 TCs. They've both taken a big economic approach here. Jonslow added his fortified church near his economy because around this, they have a 10% work rate increase now. Now, I did like a couple runs at casting this, and I wasn't happy with the first 5 minutes, and this is like run 2 or 3. So I'm now forgetting if I mentioned this before, but you know, one of the bonuses the Georgians have is they take a bit less damage when they're at the bottom of a hill. That is unfortunately a bonus that the Georgians cannot work with here, but obviously not that big a deal. Other 2 relics remaining are over here. You can see there's some monks out there for John Slow. He will see those Eagles, and he's hoping the Eagles won't see him. But Morg spots this, and Morg's going to go in. Now, Morg doesn't know there's another monk here. And so we've got a lot going on here at the same time. Eagles, though, I don't think they have squires, so they're very slow. It must have been a pause right when that was happening, and both monks go down. One Eagle does get converted, though. I think Morg is going to take that, though. You're just taking away 200 gold from your opponent. Or you haven't taken away 200 gold, but as I like to say, 200 gold down the drain. Light cav also goes down, and Morg with a really good start. with what I said is one of the best arena civilizations of all time. Their economy's really strong. The production rate's really strong. The gold they get from the relics really strong. And Jon Slow probably feeling some pressure to return the favor there, killing some monks because he's lost so many. But clearly is not able to really deal with unit control there. The light cav got converted. That light cav is going to be a great help here. Another monk's going to go down. And so it's seeming pretty likely with the amount of losses Jon Slow has taken that Morg is going to be able to go out there and get those relics. Now, a lot of players are going to make an extra light cav or two and still really be a pain and try and stop those monks. For now, Jon Slow is shifting and focusing solely on his eco. He's actually... This is a crazy thing to do when you've just lost full map control, but he actually moves out of his walls because he wants more stone. Does preemptively place some houses. But yeah, clearly he wants some stone, right? There's going to be another fortified church for a bit of efficiency. Now, 2 months ago when I uploaded an arena game where I played this, I talked about how I think the way the fortified churches are balanced is actually quite nice. Because it's like, I think if you have one town center economy with, let's say, 4 fortified churches, it's not better than like 2 or 3 town center economy. So I think the way to do it is you still have to focus, play the game, you know, standard. And then this is a nice little boost for later on. Anyways, resources collected again at the bottom. Aztecs have the lead. Very nice eco from Morg. Very nice eco upgrades from Morg. And Morg knows what he's doing. Again, there's no fight for this whatsoever. So that relic's going to come in. Morg's going to have 3 relics plus the increased income from the relics. And then behind that, Morg's on stone. So Morg wants the pressure. So let's start to shift and potentially spoil a little bit. But let's be honest, the YouTube title and YouTube thumbnail probably has. Let's talk about what Jon Slow could go for here. And what he ultimately will go for. He shifted out to stone. So he wants the unique unit. Now, Capture H hasn't updated to show the Manaspa up here. That is just a random horse. But the Manaspa is the unique unit for the Georgians. Now, before I knew the bug existed, where the Manaspa would do additional, like, bonus damage against buildings. And there's a clip I could show from a tournament, actually. It was real crazy. The bug was never fixed. Admins for the tournament didn't ban it. Players had bans on their draft. Was never banned out. And they're like, in a tournament, Viper was doing this. It wasn't Viper's fault. But there was like, I don't know, a lot of people got bent out of shape about it and whatnot, even though it wasn't fixed by the devs. It wasn't banned by the admins. And it wasn't banned by the opponents. So it's weird, right? You got to fight with your units. That's what was happening. And basically, that's insane, the amount of damage it was doing. But I said before I knew about that, right? Because that's obviously insane, what you just witnessed. I said, I think this unit's busted. Because the production rate, how quickly it produces, the cost, and then the attack. And we'll talk about that in a second. Jon Slow clearly thinking about going for his unique unit right now. And Morg looking to pressure. Morg is full map control right now. Morg sees this as a target. And he's bringing villagers forward to drop a castle. He's got monks. We could see every single monk get a conversion and shift units over to his side. And we've got some blacksmith upgrades, some eco upgrades coming in here for Morg. This is faster imp, early pressure. Jon Slow's gone for the extended boom. But I do like what Jon Slow has done. He knew he was vulnerable here, so he was able to get some outposts up. And he also had town watch, so he has the vision, so he sees the castle. So he's basically planning for life without this area of his base right now. I think a lot of players try and like build another castle here. But he's like, well, at this level, that castle means trebuchets. I'm not prepared to deal with that. So he is making a castle towards the back. Now, Manaspa's a cavalry unit. It's does receive a lot of bonus damage from pikemen. So if pikemen were to become a problem, and you would assume it will come in here for Morg once he realizes what Jon Slow's going for, the Georgians do get hand cannons. So I think a good army composition for this civilization is Manaspa, the unique unit. And then you get chemistry, and then wait some time, obviously, drop archery ranges, and then go for hand cannons. But anyways, first target here for Morg is he's going to go and try and treb down this castle here. So, that, I mean, it's smart. I actually like, he got Bodkin Arrow. Initially, I saw Bodkin Arrow and I was confused because he's not going for archers, but it does affect the castle. And now the castle's taking out the TC. That TC will go down soon. And then you don't want your opponent to have a castle here. But, like, look at this from John Slow. This is really interesting. Like, I would say that he's maybe, if I had to guess, this might be, like, his 5th game with the Georgians. It's been 2 months. He typically plays random civs. Anyways, there's the Manaspa. Now, Capture Age also wasn't updated for this 2 months ago. Now it is. So you're going to see that attack. So, for every 6 units in the group, or I think it's every 6th unit in the group, the math on it's a little bit weird. But basically, the larger your group gets, the more attack the group receives. So, that's like a big deal when the unit produces this quickly. This produces insanely fast. Look at how quick these things are producing. Going for unique units when you've lost your first castle is normally pretty wild. But the numbers are pretty high here. And John Slow, look, he's chomping at the bit to go for attack. So he's got +3 attack right now with only 1 attack upgrade researched. Think about Lithuanians. A civ where if you get relics, you get extra attack on your cav. Here, you just need to make more units. It is, it is like so much simpler. How do I get more attack? Do I need to research anything? No. Do I need to go somewhere? No. Do I need to do anything? Oh, I just make more of them. Got it. And that's what's happening now. But behind this, Morg knows what's up. Well, actually, he doesn't. He's very much in the dark on this, but I think he has a suspicion because he saw some of the Manaspa. But John Stow was considering engaging and did not. Morg is going for pikemen. But not just pikemen. He's got the +2 attack research. Now he's getting Garland Wars, which gives you an additional +4 attack. The Aztecs do not get Halb, and Halb is insane bonus damage against Cav. But they've got the monks. These monks are now up to 70 HP, so in theory, every monk could get a conversion. And then there's also the pikes. Now watch this from John Slow. This is sick. He knows the monks could be a problem. He is sinking 1,000 gold into the heresy upgrade. So anytime there is a conversion, his unit dies. And he's thinking about making a move right after heresy completes. Here he goes. So for every conversion that Morg gets, Morg is... the unit's just going to die. Morg is not going to receive a unit in return. And here go the Manaspa. 14 plus 6 attack. 20 attack for the Manaspa. 110 HP. And watch the fight, obviously. But watch the KD at the bottom left of your screens when you get a moment. Morg cannot believe it. Like, he has been in the dark on this. He had no clue those castles were back there. His army is just stampeded forward. And, I mean, he has 25 pikes in the queue. He's had monks out there. Like, he has what I would consider to be the correct composition. But there is just so many Manaspa here. And they're all over these production buildings. And the problem is, with that much attack, like, the pikeman's going to get shredded. And the monks are a non-issue now. Like, a non-factor now. And all John Slow's doing is just making more. He's going to collect these relics because I think he accidentally garrisoned them. Or maybe he lost one, I don't know. Now, remember, they did bonus, like, additional bonus damage versus buildings. They were bugged. This is the intended damage. Look at how fast that castle is going down. Insane. This unit is insane. And I still think people are figuring out the potential of it. From the production speed to the cost, and then to the damage, it's one of the best unique units in the game. 100%. And people are going to figure out more about this, but Morg's probably staring at his screen right now like, are you kidding me? I had monks and pikes. What more am I supposed to be able to do about this? And unfortunately for him, he's going to lose these buildings. He's still queuing up more. He's still trying to build more. He's thinking about building stuff back here. And he just taps out and calls the GG because there's about to be 50 of them. And everything will just die. So, not the closest arena game ever. 92 kills for John Slow, 24 deaths. But I thought that was really cool. And I want to highlight this because I feel like I didn't maybe do as good a job at showing the beauty of this, right? So, like, let's see. Eagles here. Okay. At this point, we're just moments away from the main fight. And Morg is full map control. Morg is denying the gold. Morg has the third relic. He's switching into pikes. Like, he doesn't know what's back there yet, but he looks like he's in a pretty good spot. Right? I think his army composition's eventually going to be good. So let's see. He goes in with the Eagles. He just saw one Manaspa, but I mean, it's pretty incredible here that John Slow stacked 3 castles in the very back of his base and had this level of patience. And I think so many players who are, better than John Slow don't research Heresy here. But, he really waited till he had full upgrades. Actually, did he not have Blast Furnace? Wait, what? Can they get more than 20 attack? I guess they do. My bad. Yeah, and then he comes out here and it's like Morg hasn't seen anything at all in so long. And even if Heresy's not in, like, how are you supposed to, in the blink of an eye, get 15 conversions properly? Like, the damage output is just far too great here from these Manaspa. And the surprise obviously worked out. So, for Morg, I think he clearly overextended. He got a little too excited breaking into John Slow's base. I think if he waits, maybe we have a better example of how the Manaspa do against pikes, at least, because he didn't have the pikeman number he needed. He gets up to 30, 40 pikes with all the attack, then maybe, just maybe, it's better. But that's timings, right? And I think that the production speed of the Manaspa, it really helps out in these situations. A lot of other unique units that are that strong take either more resources or more time to mass. And, going straight cav against pike and monk, 2 counters is a very risky thing. John's still able to get the job done. I'm sure maybe eventually he would have added archery ranges and gone for hand cannons if he needed. And then, the Aztecs could have gone for maybe some skirmishers with the lateral upgrade. There were more possibilities. So a 4-0 KD is not something you see every day in Age of Empires 2. I'm sure Morg is going to love the fact I uploaded this one because he's on the other side of it. Sorry about that one, Morg. But it was the first, real good example of how good the Manaspas were, or are, in my opinion, in recent times ever since that bug has been fixed. So, wouldn't surprise me. I still think people are figuring it out. There's some tournaments upcoming. We've got NAC 5 happening here this week. We've got Hidden Cup 5. Yeah, that's right. I announced it. You guys heard about it, right? February 25th through March 3rd. Hidden Cup's coming, and maybe Manaspa will be seen there. And maybe by then, devs will realize that maybe they'll feel there needs to be a nerf. I don't know. Maybe this unit sucks. Maybe people haven't figured it out yet, but I think we'll see more and more of these Georgians over time. And I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I switched up the upload times this week and next week a little bit, as I will be at the NAC 5 event, like I mentioned, but still aiming to try and stick to a video a day. We might be at a video every day and a half or something. So if you're used to my normal upload schedule, it might be a little bit different than that. But I appreciate you guys watching. Nothing quite as satisfying as seeing the player with the lowest APM bar win the game. John Slow is extremely effective despite being slow. I don't know what he was doing here, but apparently right around that mark, he was doing something. But otherwise, his average is very low compared to everyone he plays against, and he's still able to get the job done at a high level.